My stepbrother demanded $22,000 after wasting my money. I cut the wires keeping their estate alive. Julian was never just bad with money. He was an apex predator of other people's wallets. He financed a ridiculous yacht club membership at 22. Then he maxed out massive lines of credit to launch a boutique marketing firm, bleeding it dry on ski trips and vintage watches. Not once did he analyze a spreadsheet. When the collectors called, he wept in my father's study. They bailed him out twice. First was $8,000 to stop a repossession. Then $5,000 to settle a vendor contract. Both times they drained their pension. Both times I bit my tongue. 3 years ago, Julian begged me for $4,000 for rent. I handed it over. 6 days later, I saw his drone footage from a luxury villa in Cabo. I confronted him. "You're suffocating my networking potential," he laughed. I closed my wallet that day. I kept my distance. We exchanged hollow nods at holidays, and that was it. Meanwhile, I actually worked. I'm a commercial diver. I've spent 10 years welding pipelines in freezing currents. I earn a massive day rate because the risk is terrifying, but I live in a modest cabin. I drive a dented truck. I save quietly. I've never begged anyone for a dime. That's how I built my life. 3 weeks ago, Julian called me in a full-blown panic. He was sobbing. He owed $22,000 to a predatory lender for his worthless crypto warehouse. His credit was scorched earth. He couldn't get approved for a toaster. His investors were threatening lawsuits, and he was facing ruin. He had zero collateral. He just had my number. He demanded I wire him the $22,000 immediately. Like it was pocket change. I said absolutely not. The line went silent. "So you'll just watch me get slaughtered," he hissed. "This isn't my ledger, Julian. You hoard wealth while your blood drowns," he screamed. Heat climbed my neck and my vision blurred. "You burned my $4,000 in Cabo," I snapped. "Dad drained his pension for your suits. Nothing changed. I'm not doing this." I hung up. 2 hours later, my father texted me, $22,000 or you are dead to this family. Your choice. I stared at the glowing screen. That's when the real bombshell dropped. Then I started making calls. I canceled the automatic escrow transfer I'd been sending my father for 5 years. $600 a month. That's $7,000 a year keeping their estate's property taxes out of default. Never missed a payment. Never asked for a thank you. I just did it because they're family. Next, I called the marina and revoked my card from my dad's sailboat slip fee. $400 a month for a vessel he ignores. Finally, I removed my copay for Elena's SUV. $300 a month. Total, I was silently bleeding over $1,300 a month on a family that just threatened to erase my existence. Over $15,000 a year, instantly vaporized. By midnight, I had 47 missed calls. Dad, Elena, Julian, an uncle, even Julian's sleazy partner. My father's voicemails escalated from arrogant commands to absolute terror. "You're overreacting." Then, "Julian is in serious danger, you selfish prick." Then, the panicked realization, the marina manager locked my boat. "What did you do to the accounts? We are your family." Julian texted a massive paragraph accusing me of financial abuse, claiming I wasn't a real brother. I read every hysterical word. Then I locked my phone in my glove box and went to sleep. The next morning, my uncle called from his own number. He said my father was a mess and that I needed to be the bigger person. I asked him if he knew I'd been secretly paying their property taxes for 5 years. He didn't. I asked if he knew I paid the marina fees. He didn't. I asked if he knew Julian burned my $4,000 in Mexico. He didn't. "So before you lecture me about being the bigger person," I whispered, "maybe ask them why I got smaller."